Yo, internet, what it do? World Wide Web, wherever it is you're watching from. Deuce, deuce. Wishing you nothing but love, peace, happiness, with a hint of adversity, so that you may grow stronger, brighter, and more awesome. And so, with that said, today we're going to start something new. New in the sense of creating a proper intro. What you just heard, that was bits of it. Now we're going to give you the other. Because, again, the point of all of this, to get you to function from your higher self, to get you to function from your higher mind, to get you to be your best self, to get you to get in the driver's seat of your life. Get that will, drive that joint yourself. Make the choice to drive it into the curb, the ditch, or keep it on the path that it was intended to be on. Ultimately, as long as you are in control, that's what matters to me. Why? Well, the whole point of being in this reality is because others have literally been in your driver's seat and controlling your life, controlling the direction of the path that you were to follow. You have sat idly by for so long, generations upon generations, and just allowing another to fuck up your life. And then you sit there and get mad at the consequences. You get mad at the effects that comes with allowing another to govern your life, to rule your life, to control your life, to tell you what to do, who you should be, what you should think, how you should believe. Fun shit like that. So ultimately, again, the time for dumb shit like that, this world in and of itself, the vibration, have literally decided I've had enough of all this ignorant bullshit. I need everybody functioning from a higher dimension, functioning from higher frequency. It's time for a new game. And so here I am, giving you the opportunity to restart the game and play it better. Not from an unconscious state that was allowing others to tell you what the fuck to do with your life, to tell you how to drive your car. From the position of you telling you what to do with your life. You controlling your own car. And this time, the plus side of this is, this time, if you fuck up, you can't really blame nobody but you. That's the part a lot of you are afraid of. To have that control of your life, knowing that if I fuck up, I can't blame nobody but myself. See, the pros that came with allowing others to rule and govern your life and tell you what to do with your life, you could always sit back, cross your arms, and point the finger and say, it's your fault that my life turned out the way it did. And then you could wash your hand and be proud of yourself, knowing that you could always pass the blame on to somebody else for the direction of your life, for the path in which your life took that have led to the current you. That little voice in the back of your mind, that voice of comfort that just keep whispering, it's okay, let them make the decision. Because if shit falls apart, we could always just say, it's your fault. But now the Godfather stands before you, telling you that If you simply continue to heed these messages, take the suggested advice and get in control of your life, those that are truly ready, ultimately, that whole excuse to blame others, it gets wiped away, because in the driver's seat, again, now you understand, if shit falls apart, I can't blame nobody but me. It is I that made the decisions to do whatever the fuck it is I've been doing with my life ever since I started to little by little expand my awareness. Understanding that this is my life, nigga. This version of me only gets to exist but one time in this time span that is eternity. There will never be another motherfucker like this, because ultimately for this me to have come into existence, certain things had to be put into place. Both my parents had to be in that place at that time to meet one another, to do, and make shit happen for me to be. My grandparents had to meet one another to create my parents. Their grandparents had to meet one another to create that parent, and then they created that parent, and then here I am. The weather had to be just right. The temperature had to be right. A lot of things on a microscopic level, let's just say on a quantum level, had to be put into place for this current version of you to come into existence. And all those things cannot align again for this current you to come into existence again. For that to happen, your parents will have to, there will have to be repeating, there will have to be a bunch of your parents, a bunch of your grandparents, etc., etc. I'm not going to go into that right now. Let's just leave it alone, okay? Just understand that for you to come into existence, all the various recipe that went into the whole act of you right now, will have to be repeated. And because that's not going to happen, this you is only going to exist but one time. And so I say all that to say this: if you are going to be this version of you just one time on this time span that is eternity, how can you allow yourself to not live a fulfilling life? Side note, this is not the intro that I was speaking about. This is just a brief overview. Ultimately, you will understand why this is happening. Truth be told, I'm aware in my mind why it's happening, but the words are just flowing by themselves because I didn't even plan none of this. So let us continue. So if this version of you is only going to exist but one time, why do you sit idly by and allow others to direct the flow of your life? To direct the flow of your thoughts, to shape and mold the belief that you have of self. One opportunity to be whoever you is. And if I was to speak for myself, I got one opportunity, I got one chance to be this individual, this person, this persona that you see that is the Godfather of Consciousness. There's but one time the Godfather of Consciousness is going to step on the stage of life. After this version, there's another one that's going to come. And ultimately, the soul within me is going to be aware that this is my new version. Now, in my spirit self, yes, I'm aware of all the versions that I have been. But once I'm in that new version and I have undergone the whole forgetfulness veil where I forget everything when I take on that form, that new form, I don't remember the Godfather of Consciousness. He is done. He has served his purpose. He lived the fuck out of his life. Did shit his way. He took the responsibility, understanding that if I fail, it's on me because I made my decisions. My choices was mine to make. I never give my once in a lifetime opportunity to another motherfucker to tell me how to live, to tell me how to think, to tell me what I should believe, to tell me what is good, what is bad, what is indifference. I never give that much power to any fucking body. Speaking as the Godfather. I made my choices. I learned from my choices. You, divine brother, divine sister that is watching this. As I've stated, one chance, one opportunity to be you. Why are you wasting it every day? Why are you wasting it every day allowing other people to live through you? Now, hold on to that, allowing other people to live through you real quick. I say that simply because of this. There are some parents that give birth to their children. And these parents, they had dreams of becoming whatever. Doctors, lawyers, humanitarians, politicians, money makers, movers, shakers. They had these dreams. And because of them sitting down and allowing others to govern their life, they did not pursue these dreams. And so, just like what they went through when they were children, they now do it to their kids. What am I referring to? If they did not fulfill their dreams, now they feel as though my offspring can now fulfill my dreams. Failing to realize that offspring, that child has a mission and a purpose of its own, has its own individuality that must be expressed. And if indeed that child is strong enough mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, that child can deny whatever programming, which is the parent want to live through them. That child can deny that and say, nah, bro, you had your life. You did whatever you did with it. Thank you for giving birth to me, but fuck that. You ain't about to live through me. So going back to the whole, some people sit by and allow others to live through them. Parents generally do this. Sometimes you come across a friend that is so narcissistic, they can literally gaslight you into sitting by and allowing them to live through you. They tell you what is safe, where you can and cannot go, who to talk to, who not to talk to, and all of this. Let's go back. One opportunity, one chance. And yet, everybody sit by and allowed others to live through them. And as I've said in previous videos done not long ago, it is not until niggas reach their deathbed that they come to that realization, laying on that bed, knowing that, okay, my next way out of here, or my next step out of here, if they're on that biblical side of things, man, I'm either going to heaven or hell. But I do believe ultimately them niggas, they get to the point where they realize heaven and hell was bullshit. And I literally sat by and I allowed myself to believe someone else's belief. I accepted someone else's belief without ever questioning it. Why did I do that? Indeed, why? And by then, the regrets. Why didn't I think for myself? Why didn't I speak up? Why didn't I pursue my dreams? Why didn't I say no? Why? And by then it's too late. Now, realizing that I'm gonna have to come through and do this shit over again, the only thing they could do is hope and pray that perhaps in my next life, I can honestly be man up, woman up, and truly be myself and not give a fuck about the opinions of the world. But again, once you hit the reset, come back through in this bitch, you forget everything. You just pick up from the programmings that your new parents, your new environment, your new culture is going to give you. Now, again, you have the choice to reject the programming, reject the culture, reject whatever the world is trying to tell you to be, and accept yourself. So how do I accept myself? You go within. You discover yourself from within. There is nothing outside of you that can ever tell you who you is. This is not even the message. Again, brothers and sisters, on some real shit, this shit is just flowing right now. But it will all tie together once you get the message. And so part of the introduction that I was speaking to, or speaking in regards to in the beginning of the video, is this: what is to be added now is my affirmation that I have written somewhere in my home, somewhere that I could look at every day to constantly remind myself. And I have posted this affirmation for y'all before. Again, affirmation is as follows: if it don't work for you, don't force it, because your subconscious is not going to believe shit that you don't believe. You have to believe it for it to work. That's where affirmation works. You cannot just repeat shit over and over and think that, oh, your unconscious is going to accept it. No, your unconscious is going to be like, nigga, you know you don't believe that shit. Why are you wasting energy repeating shit that you don't believe? Our affirmation has to work for you, for the unconscious to accept it, thereby manifesting in your reality. Side note, let's get back to it. Part of the intro that I'm referring to is simply this: where other men blindly follows the truth, remember that nothing is true. There's absolutely nothing true in this reality. It only becomes true when you, the viewer, accepts it to be true. And by you accepting it as true, guess what? Your unconscious, your subconscious goes ahead and creates that in your environment, creates that in your reality, creates that in your world, brother, sister. Absolutely nothing is true. You say, give me some proof, Unique. How can you say nothing is true when the evidence is all around us? All right, let me give it to you like this. When you was born, again, baby, brand new mind, absolutely nothing is within that child's mind. That child is born clean, pure, having nothing but absolute limitless potential. Limitless potential, meaning this child can literally think and do and believe whatever, and it will be. How? Well, look at the facts. When a child is born, it starts to accept the programming from their parents, then from the family members, then from the friends, then from the environment, then from the cultural belief system, then from the religious belief system. Then ultimately all of these things that the child is accepting, that becomes the child's truth, because the unconscious has accepted it and it has created it, and it has now manifested in the child's reality. A child that had limitless potential, now because of the environment that they was born into, they now believe in limits. They now believe in fear. A child that had no such thing as fear as children, true or false? Do you not see children literally doing the impossible? They doing like some I don't fear shit type shit. And then ultimately the parents that so-called has lived their life, they are mature in the whole conditioning of their society. They see these child do these impossible things, and little by little they start to fear for the children, start telling them, oh, don't do that. If you do that, this and this and this and this is going to happen. So now by projecting their fear onto the child, little by little the child starts to accept it, and that child that had no fear now starts to know what fear is, and now little by little they start creating it in their reality, and then now they're getting fear from their family members, now from their friends, now from religion, now from the culture. Now again, a child that had no fear is ran and ruled by fear. Limitless, so limitless to the degree that a clean mind can just take the environment, the culture, the religious belief, the societal belief, and whatever limiting belief that they have, and create it. From the moment the child was born, it was programmed to believe in limitation. So ultimately, as the child grows up into a teenager, into an adult, those limiting beliefs follows the child, because again, how our belief generated, it starts with speaking it. Next thing, it becomes repeated, and as it becomes repeated, you take it, and now it becomes your habits. And habits are one of the hardest things to break in this world, in this reality. Because your habits, you are the sum total of your habits. Everything that you do daily, everything that you think, everything that you're saying, the people that you know, the things that you, the niggas you hang out with, you are the sum total of your habits. And so I stand by that. Nothing is true in this reality until you accept it as true. Thus, brothers and sisters, remember, where other men blindly follows the truth, remember always that nothing ain't true. Question everything. There's another video I was pondering on doing in regards to the limitless information that is flooding your devices that you now carry. Everybody got something to say. This is the meantime where you need to take responsibility in what information you allow to cross your awareness. Because AI, artificial intelligence, has become so good at imitating and mimicking the voice, the actions, the tones of others, that this motherfucker could literally pose themselves to be something or somebody, come across your news feed, say something, and now you then held on to it and walking around believing that this is true without questioning it, simply because it came from a creditable source. It came from a reliable source. How do you know? Again, I say AI has become so good at imitating people. It is becoming a challenge to know what is a real human being that is speaking to me and what is artificial intelligence. Now, they're still working out the kinks. I'm still able to tell, okay, this is a robot, this is artificial intelligence, this is a human being. I'm still able to read in between the lines, but as time progresses, these things are going to get so good that it's going to be hard to tell. But ultimately, not, bro. When it comes to your inner knowing, can't shit fool you. So even if they fine tune it to the degree where it's hard to tell, nigga, you can still know if you truly trust yourself. So this whole era of information, be careful. Where other men blindly follows the truth, remember, nothing ain't true until it becomes true for you. The next part of that affirmation is as follows. Where other men are limited by morality or by laws, remember, everything is permitted. Say, huh? Everything is permitted. Again, allow me to take you back to the child scenario. A child is born. It knows nothing. It knows not good. It knows not bad. It knows no laws. It knows no rules. It knows no boundaries. It is in the developmental stages of this child during its upbringing that this child learns the rules, the laws, the boundaries. It learns the difference between morals and immorality, given to him or her by who? By the parental figure, by parental supervision, by the guardian, by whoever that is developing this child. You're a newborn. All right, come on through. Let me teach you how things work in this reality. Well, here are the laws. Here are the guidelines. Here are the boundaries you're allowed to live within. Here is what considers good. Here's what's considered bad. Now, again, the child don't know none of this shit. Everything is permitted to the child. I could do whatever the fuck I want in the mind of a child. There are no limits for a child. We, the parental supervision, we, the society as a whole, collectively, we give these children their limits, the guidelines, the parameter in which they can function. We teach them what is moral. We teach them what is immoral. And nowadays in this new society, morals and immorality, they don't exist. I probably should have done this on live, but fuck it. They don't exist. Because nowadays, everything goes. You can do whatever the fuck you want as long as you don't get cut. If you get cut, that's when you like, okay, fine. I got cut. Fuck it. But clearly, niggas don't know what morals means anymore. Niggas don't know what living by a code means anymore. Niggas ain't got self-respect anymore. So in a way, everything goes. For the fuck niggas. Real niggas, we still live by codes. Real niggas, we still have morals. Real niggas, we still have values that we live by. Shit that we just will never do because it goes against who we know ourselves to be. Fuck niggas don't know shit like that. They go by what society is doing. Society tells them, oh, this is what everybody doing now. Morally, within yourself, you know, I ain't doing that dumbass shit. That goes against who I am. And you step away from it as a real motherfucker. Oh, fuck nigga, you gonna say, nah, everybody is doing it. Even though morally they know what's wrong within themselves, they're still gonna do it because, again, popularity. I don't want to be left out. I need to jump on the bandwagon. Where other men are limited by rules, other men are limited by morality and by laws. Remember, everything is permitted, big homie. You have been taught limitation. You have been taught these laws, these morals. You need to literally take the time to create for yourself what morals you are going to live by, what values you are to live by. You're going to shape and mold your moral compass if you are in the driver's seat of your life. You're going to determine these things now. And again, falling back to the whole con of this being in control of your life. For many, it's going to be a con. For me, it's a pro, because every decision falls back on you now. You dig? Every decision falls back on you. You can't blame nobody for your life, whatever direction it may go, once you start to create your own value system, create your own moral compass, set your own codes that you're going to live by, your own laws that you're going to live by. And as a real motherfucker, as a G, when you set these laws, these codes, these morals of yours, these values, when you set these things, let them be set in stone and you live by them. Never changing them for anybody, because they are your laws, the foundation upon which you stand. This is what a G does. Any man that does not govern his own life is not a man. He is still a child. Any man that is still allowing others to live through him is not a man. You're still a child. I've came across motherfuckers in this reality who literally believe that just because I'm old enough to shoot my seed into a woman and she bears a child, that makes me a man. Are you fucking kidding me? That means literally in the developmental state of a child, when they reach that age where they get their first boner and the sperm is in there working, they go get it on with a girl who has had her first period, that makes them an adult. That's the ridiculous illusion that we living under, that just because your sperm goes into a woman and it get into the egg and make a baby, that makes you an adult. As I've said time and time again, you have a lot of children walking around in adult bodies, pretending to be adults, not understanding what comes with being an adult. You're still allowing others to think for you. You're a grown ass man or grown ass woman. You're still allowing mom and dad to think for you, but yet you're calling yourself an adult. You're a grown ass man or grown ass woman. You're still going to these religious liars to tell you who God is when you could sit and get to know the good Lord, the divine I am for yourself. You could do this for yourself. But you're an adult. You say, I'd much rather go to them to tell me about God. You shun the responsibility of learning about God for yourself, because if you want to get to know God, God will happily reveal itself to you, because, bitch, motherfucker everywhere. We're not going to get into that. Don't want to scare you off. But yeah, man, you got people masquerading to be adults in this bitch, not knowing the first thing when it comes to what being an adult is, what it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman. Again, that's another part of society that has just become diluted. Men and women don't know their roles no more. Man want to be a woman, woman wants to be a man. Shit is all fucked up again. Where other men are limited by morality and by laws, everything is permitted. A man is allowed to be a woman is allowed to be a man. That's the society you're living in. So ultimately, this affirmation should not be something that you should look at and be like, oh no, everything cannot be permitted. Well, nigga, everything is permitted. Just open up your motherfucking eyes and you'll be able to see that everything is permitted under the sun. And ultimately get to the point where you accept that truth and don't judge it, because to judge it is to judge yourself. You are all there is. Let that one go over your head until you're ready to truly understand what I just said. You are all there is. So I'm going to repeat the intro again, and then we're going to get into the message. That was a long ass intro, so here it is. My darling, my beloved. Where other men... Oh crap. I was so focused on that. Hold on, give me the affirmation, my love. Where other men blindly follows the truth, remember that nothing in this reality is truth until you accept it and it becomes true for you. Where other men are limited by morality and by laws, remember, my love, that everything is permitted. And so with that said, here is your message right here. The title of this is going to be this: nobody forced you to be who you is. Absolutely nobody in this reality forced you to be who you currently are. If you're watching this video, feel as though, yes, I attract a bunch of various ages, but these messages are not pertaining to children. If a child came across my message and it resonated with them, that child is going to be a powerful motherfucking soul to tap into this at such a young age. But being that this information, again, it finds its way to the right people. Yes, I'm aware that the wrong people, I have fuck niggas and pussies that are monitoring what the fuck it is that I do. Everything I say, like, you'll be surprised. Niggas think I don't know that. Bro, I didn't have fucking, what's the shit called? One of those cams. I didn't have shit in my living space where niggas are watching me and they think I don't know. You think I don't know that y'all got cameras, y'all had cameras in the location that I stay. But how can I get mad when I'm living in a space that I cannot claim as my own? Somebody else has the keys to my house. How can I get mad if you put a camera in that space? The house ain't mine, so you have the right to do whatever you want to do. Yes, I will think that you will be honorable and respectful for nigga privacy, but no. Niggas trying to spy on you. What are you doing behind closed door? And I ain't got shit to hide. Fuck it, sit and watch. Eventually, I will get to a point in time in my life where I will be able to truly be comfortable when I say when I'm home and know that I'm home with myself. I don't have no eyes watching me. And even with that, you got people who go in the spiritual realm and try to watch you from the spirit world and all that. And all these people, you breaking laws that fucking with me, bitch, you gonna pay for invading my privacy. If you're not already paying. Trust and believe. I let shit go because I know ultimately, nigga, you gonna get got for fucking with me. You don't know who you is. I know who I am. Coming for me is the most stupidest thing that you will ever do in your existence. And a lot of motherfuckers are finding that out day by day because I have had nothing but an organization centered around monitoring my every action, where I go, who I'm with, what I'm doing, and then they're doing their whole so-called black magic, their death magic, their ugly spell, their shit spell. Some of the shit that these motherfuckers have done, bro. You will reap what you have sown. I don't know how I got there, but as I was saying, yeah, niggas watching what the fuck it is that I'm doing. This page, or these videos that I'm doing, it attracts different people. Ultimately, the intention is it goes to the people who genuinely wants to get off that merry-go-round that is doing the same shit every day and expecting the same result. Expecting a different result. This is for people who want and desire a different result. For the ones that are watching to so-called copy or watch a nigga move and what he's doing to see if they can attack him or whatever, you sick, perverted fuck, keep watching. Because everything you have done, bitch, I'm still here. All the hexes, all your magic, every fucking thing you have done, all the spells you have cast, your juju, your voodoo, your hoo-hoo, whatever the fuck it is you have done, bitch, I'm still here. And honestly, everything that you do, it just reveals to me just how pathetic you are, just how weak you are, just how lost you are, just how separated you are. Because if you was truly connected to your source, I'm telling you, you will cry upon reaching the realization of who you have long been fucking with, who you have long been projecting these negative energies towards, who you have long been doing these evil magic and these dark spells and these evil eyes and shit like that. You will get on your knees and cry. You will run. You will run from yourself. You might just go insane. Because it's like, oh my God, that's who I was doing all this shit to this whole time? Oh my God, what the fuck have I done to myself? Oh my God, what the fuck was I thinking? No, the truth will be so profound that I'm telling you, you might just lose your fucking mind for coming against me. Watch these videos to inspire you to go to the next level, to push the reset on the game, to now get in the driver's seat, to drive your life in the direction in which you want it to go, and not fearing the fact that if shit hit the fan, it all comes back on you. Embrace that and say, that should be motivation to not allow shit to hit the fan. But let's get back to our message. Nobody forced you to be who you is in this moment. If you like who you is in this moment, then big homie, cool. Sis, we out here. If you love who you is, the persona in which that you introduce to the world stage every day, if you look yourself in the mirror and you You smile when you look at yourself. You're proud. You look yourself directly in the eye, because on some real shit, there's a lot of people who cannot look themselves in their own eyes. If in this moment you love yourself, and I mean wholeheartedly from your heart, like ain't no faking, on some real shit, you love yourself, you love who you are, bro, cool. On the other hand, if you don't, oh well, I don't know what to say, bro. You shit out of luck, because every thought, every word, every action, every decision has led to the current you. Everything you have done from the moment you got to that age of anchoring your persona into the world, between 0 to 7, once you gather up all that data from your culture, your religion, your parents, your family member, your environment, your friends, that 0 to 7 stage, you created a persona, you create a character, and from that character you develop into the teenager, to the young adult, to the adult, and now you are watching this video. Everything you have done, it was on you. Even if you sat idly by, cross your hands, and allow others to get in the driver's seat of your life, that was your choice. The character that you is right now, even if you say, well, Unique, I wasn't in control of making a decision to look the way I look. Others was making that choice for me. The proof is in the pudding. Others will, you stop by and then allow others to make the choice for you. Every choice, every decision has created the person that you currently is. If you settle for a life of being average, a version of yourself that is average, it was you. No one forced you to be averaged. Nobody forced you to settle in life. Nobody forced you to accept the script that they was handing to you, that was passing around to everybody. No one forced you to take that script and become that character for them and play that role for them. Nobody forced you to put on the various masks that you put on to fit into the environment that you know damn well you don't belong in. No one. It was you. You, the viewer, again, as I've stated, this current you that you is right now, if you love the nigga, if you love that queen, cool, bro. Just watch this video for entertainment's sake. Ultimately, this video is for the motherfuckers that don't like who they is because they sat idly by and allow another person to create for them the character and the lifestyle that they're currently experiencing. This is who these messages are for, to remind them of the sin that they're committing against themselves. I don't believe in sin. If there was such a thing as a sin, that would be what I just stated. Allowing yourself to become who you is due to the suggestions and manipulation of others, the outside world. Literally becoming who you is based off of the exterior suggestions, conditioning, and shit like that. That is the sin, at least in my book. Because if I was anything based on someone else's opinion, I would truly feel like I've committed a sin against myself, because I am not myself. I am who that person or that individual or that organization created me to be. So how can I claim that I am who I say I am based off of someone else's blueprint? So ultimately, you made the choice to sit idly by and allow another motherfucker to create you. It started with your parents. When a child is born, I'm always go there. When a child is born, ultimately, the parents, they start to create that child and shape and mold that child into what they want the child to grow to be. It says it in your Bible. Train up a child in the way he should grow, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Most parents are not teaching their children how to be individuals. Express yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself. If anything, most parents and guardians, they're trying to remove the individuality from the child, conditioning them to be like every other child in their environment. That child don't do that. Why are you doing that? So you train this child in the way that he or she should grow, and when they're older, will not depart from it. You train the child to be a copy of a copy of a copy. You train the child to neglect his or her individuality. And this just continued to the point where the child learned how to put on these facades, these masks. Thus, now they put on these masks not knowing who they is, because they have allowed the outside world to shape and mold them, to influence their character. So ultimately, again, if somebody told you who you are, you can never truly own that identity, because that's someone else's perception of you. That's someone else's opinion. That's someone else's creation. It is not your creation. Who you is right now is all in the making of your own decisions and choices. Even if you sat by and did nothing, no decision is still a choice. No decision is still a decision. Not making a choice is still making a choice. So let me remind you again, no one forced you to be who you is. No one forced you to settle in life. No one forced you to put on the mask that you put on to get into an environment that you have no business being in. No one forced you to accept the script to be a savior, to accept the script of pretending to be whatever it is you're pretending to be. Because again, they just handed you the script. You took it and you read over it. You say, okay, so you want me to be this evil, vindictive, revenge-driven individual. You want me to be this heartbroken individual? You want me to be this manipulative individual? You want me to play mind games with people? You want me to take advantage of kind-hearted people who show me nothing but love? You want me to be an asshole on the stage of life? You want me to deny my birthright, that is the sacred child of creation, that is a child of the Most High? You want me to deny that and accept the world's idea that I was born in sin and that I'm imperfect and I have to spend the entirety of my life praying to be perfect, working to earn my way back to heaven? You want me to do all of this? Yes, I'll take it. And then niggas run with it. I was born in sin, so now all I'm going to do, I'm going to walk around this bitch and be the big bad wolf, the big bad devil, and commit more sin because I'm a sinner. You accepted someone else's ideas about who you is. A child of divinity, born into a world where you know no limit. The world created all of these limits for you and convinced you to deny your divinity, and you accepted to be the devil in the flesh. going around this bitch hurting people who never did you no wrong. Somebody hurt you, you decide, well, you hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you back. Or some of y'all go as far as saying, I'm gonna hurt you before you hurt me, because I didn't been on the receiving end before of being hurt. And at this point, my heart is so guarded that I would never allow somebody else to hurt me. So before you hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you. Child of divinity. Did you hear what I just said? How does it feel to hear words like that coming out of my mouth? Does that not literally explain your life, what you have done, how you have lived? The average path, the path that everybody walk, the path that says, I'm gonna hurt you before you hurt me. The path that said I was born in sin, so ultimately I'm gonna just be a sinner in this bitch. The path that says everybody is doing this, so I'm gonna do it too, because it's only right to follow the trend. The average path. No one forced you to do that. You could have remained the child of divinity that you is. Even when others hurt you, you could have recognized that that's not who I am, and you will never make me into this character that goes around hurting people because I'm hurt. The child of divinity sit with that wound. They heal it. They learn from it, and they realize, okay, I give you the best of me. You took that for granted. You abused my kindness. You took my kindness for weakness. It does not make me weak. It does not prove your words to be true. It simply means, bitch, you ain't know what you had. And so now you have taught me that indeed there are some truly wounded brothers and sisters of mine in this reality, and you're one of them. Now I need to keep it moving. Never again will you be allowed in my reality, because again, you had the opportunity of a lifetime. Somebody filled with love, care, nurturing, wanted nothing but the best for you, was willing to give you every fucking thing. But you saw this as an opportunity to stab the nigga right there in his back and said, well, I'm wounded. I gotta hurt you before you hurt me because you're too good to be true. Ain't no way you could be this wonderful human being. I need to bring you down to our level by causing you some emotional wounds, by causing you some mental wounds, some mental instability, by causing you some spiritual separation, by separating you from your source, because I have become long separated because I have chosen this path of hurting people. Ultimately, the more I hurt people, the more I hurt myself. But I don't know that. I just keep going down this path of darkness, which have literally guided me away from my own light, guided me away from the light of divinity. But now in you, I see that light. And because that light shines so bright and I'm like a moth drawn to a flame, I want to covet that light for myself. And ultimately, by coveting it, all you want to do is just dim it and condition it to become nothing like you. No one forced you to be that kind of individual. You made the choice, brothers and sisters. You made the choice out of what? Out of fear. You made that choice to be who you is in this moment out of the fear of failure. Again, as I stated in the video, the beginning of the video, you fear the idea that if I took control of my life and if shit hit the fan, I will have nobody to blame but myself. You fear failure. On some real shit. As I've stated, the very idea that if every choice, word, and action I take is ultimately leading back to me because I was the sole proprietor of those choices, those words, and those actions, it means that if anything goes wrong, I'm gonna have to take responsibility. I can't blame nobody else. It was on me. That fear have led to the very person that you is right now. Next, you fear being judged. Your opinions of others have shaped and molded the very person that you is right now. If you're not rejecting the information and convincing yourself that, oh, you're wrong, no, that's a lie. If you're open to genuinely receive these truths, they have within it the power to free you. You cannot solve a problem unless you recognize that indeed this is a problem. The problem is simply you have allowed yourself to become who you is because you fear being judged. The opinions of others have allowed you to shrink yourself. The opinions of others have allowed you to not be who you is. The opinions of others have allowed you to stunt your growth. The opinions of others have allowed you to settle in life. And you ain't the only one. Everybody that is watching this video, at some point in our life, we were victim to the opinions of others. Because everybody, we value how we look to the public's eye. We value how we look to the people we love. We value how we present ourselves. And some of us, we rely on their approval to determine whether this is a safe course of action to take, whether this is the right path, whether this is the right thing to do. We rely on their approval. And if they don't give it to us, we do not follow our dreams. We do not speak our truth. We do not be who we know ourselves to be because they did not approve of it. So the fear of others' opinion have allowed you to not speak when you know you needed to speak. The fear of the opinions of others have allowed you to not pursue your dreams, because by pursuing your dreams, it means that you had to make certain decisions that led to relationship that had to come to an end. And because you didn't want those opinions, those judgments, you stayed where you were, filled with resentment. I could have, should have, would have, but the opinions of others did not allow me. And so now in this current moment of who I am, listening to this video, I accept it. Because if I truly heed the words that Unique is suggesting, yeah, others' opinion have literally stunted my growth. Others' opinion have literally shaped who I have grown to become, who I know myself to be. I am not who I truly am as I am introducing myself to the world. I have to govern some of the things that come out of my mouth. Why? Others' opinion. I have to monitor the way I look. Why? Others' opinion. I have to move a certain way among certain people. Why? They're watching. Their opinion. I have to look this way. I have to be this way. I have to believe this way. I have to think this way. I have to speak this way. I have to do this way. Why? Others' opinion. I am not a man or a woman of myself, of my own. Why? Others' opinion. The fear of failure, the fear of being judged. Next, the fear of losing the benefits that comes with pretending to be something you're not. See, when you are pretending, allowing others to create through you, allowing others to take the driving wheel of your life, Certain benefits comes with that. Again, the primary benefits, in my opinion, is going to be if shit hit the fan, you can always blame them. It's your fault that my life turned out the way it is. That's a primary benefit. But there are other benefits that comes with settling. There are other benefits that comes with accepting the opinions of others. There are benefits that comes from your fear of failing. Okay? And you fear losing these benefits. So you agree to the script that others hand you. One script, a lot of the script that is currently being handed out is these women out here now stating that a man is responsible to take care of all their needs and his own, and they don't have to do shit but spread their legs and receive the penis. Thanks to Cardi B, you have modern day prostitute walking all about. That script right now, brothers and sisters, that's a benefit. If she decides, okay, she gets with a man, he got all this money and says, well, I could take care of all your bills. I could do all these things for you, girl. All you need to do is make sure that that pussy is exclusively mine. Bear my children, be a housewife. This woman, she decides, well, yeah, I'll do that because again, that's what a man is. That's what a relationship is. You be my provider and I'll make your babies, I'll take care of the house. The benefits is, again, you getting all your needs met. Now, if you were to become a goddess, a woman of your own, and you realize, what the fuck? I'm gonna get with a man that I don't really like, that I don't even love. Now, flip this however way it go. I'm gonna get with a man or a woman. If you're a man, put the woman. If you're a woman, put the man. I'm gonna just speak in the sense of the woman, since that was what I started with. A woman that have reached her goddess energy, her queen energy, that I'm responsible for myself energy. She realizes, hold on, you expect me to get with a man that I don't like, that I don't love. Open up my legs, let him impregnate me. I give him children and I stay in the house and be a housewife. I neglect pursuing my passion. I neglect pursuing my dreams. I neglect discovering who I truly am. I neglect myself simply because the benefits is I get my bills paid and I got a roof over my head. That's some shit little girls want. A woman, on the other hand, knows that, no, it's not your responsibility to do these things for me. I can do it for myself. If you are to be my man, you have to come with something a whole lot more than money, because I can pay my own bill. See, I came across this one female. She hit me with an okie doke. Okie doke in the sense of, I've never heard this before from a woman. We was having a conversation and it went in that direction, and she was like, Unique, see, I'm a woman that can do everything for myself. I pay my own bills. I pay for my own car, drive my own car. I got my house in my name. And having all of this, the question becomes, what can a man offer me? I already have my answer, because I can give a woman something way more than material things. But this is not about me. We was just having a conversation. Again, she said, well, I can do all these things that a man is supposed to do for me. And being that I could do these things, what use is a man? And that's when it took me for okie doke. I'm like, whoa, girl, I ain't never heard no shit like that come out of a woman's mouth before. That was the okie doke. I'm sitting there like, this is a woman that I'm dealing with. So the reason why I bring that up is this. If a man was interested in a woman of that caliber, coming from his perception where, oh, I have to be the provider, I have to do all these things for her, I have to do X, Y, and Z, pay the bills, I have to go out and make the money and all of this. Now, my brother, you're with a woman that don't need you to do none of this. What do you bring to the table? And I was sitting there, I enjoyed the fuck out of that conversation. I was sitting there like, oh, you are absolutely right. So if this is what a man has been programmed into believing and accepting that his role is when it comes to a harmonious relationship, what happens if he comes across a woman who challenges that very program? Not in a negative sense, but in the sense of you was programmed and taught that you need to do all of this, but now you're dealing with a woman that can do all of this on her own. She don't need you to do this to be the only breadwinner. So now, how do you respond to that? That answer coming from me, I cannot speak for other men, but if I was interested in her, I would have had her. But this was a professional platonic relationship that I did not want to go any further. So I just listened. But I did throw in some suggestion because there's a lot of women nowadays that are getting to that level where, yes, they're doing their own thing and they're taking care of themselves. They got their own house, cars in their name, and paying their own bills. They don't need a man for shit. I respect that. I applaud that. On the other hand, the men that you will pose that question to, well, baby, we've been dating for this long. You know that I handle my own shit, take care of my own bills. I'm looking for something that is far more than a man that thinks he is supposed to pay my bills. So what do you think you can offer? You got the emotional side of your need. You say, well, I can go ahead and talk to my girls. Yeah, you could talk to your girls, but it's a different kind of emotional connection when you and your man connect on that level of emotions, where you could freely express your emotions to them and he can freely express his to you, and y'all have this symphony, this understanding, this harmonious emotional flow between y'all, where you don't have nothing to hide emotionally. They don't have nothing to hide emotionally. Ultimately, to get to that degree, both of y'all have to be healed, because a lot of people emotionally, they don't even understand their own emotions. They tend to run from their emotion. Secondly, spiritually, that man offers you that. So, well, what can you teach me about spirituality? What can you teach me about myself? The man comes in and say, girl, I got you on all of this. Because ultimately that's what a man is supposed to be, his woman's teacher. He's supposed to help her grow into a better, brighter, stronger, more powerful version of herself. Say, woman, this is what I have to offer to you. To introduce you to a version of yourself that you didn't even know existed. Simply by the love that I'm going to give to you, by the wisdom that I'm going to channel into you, by the acceptance that I'm going to have of you, by the understanding, by the knowing, by the respect, all of these things, feeding it into you, and then watching you blossom into this beautiful rose that you've always been. Yes, you had to grow some thorns and stuff, because now, due to all the traumatic shit that you have experienced, you have to protect yourself. I get that. All those thorns, keep them. In fact, I want them stronger, because I'ma still trust that you could protect yourself when I ain't around. But if you need me, bitch, I'm coming. Just make that call, and I'm on the way. And if I can't get to you in time, I'm gonna make another call to somebody to get to you before I can, if the distance is too far. But ultimately, just make that call. I'm on the way. These are the things, or I mean, just surface level. Me now expressing what that caliber of woman, what if she was with the right man, could say, these are what I have to offer that are not of material things. Emotional support. Your mind is, I'm gonna water the fuck out of your mind. You're gonna be thinking in ways that you ain't even thought possible. You're gonna learn things that is out of this world. You're gonna learn how to move in this world as if you are magic. Spiritually, girl, I'm gonna introduce you to yourself. I'm gonna introduce you to yourself. Physically, that body, we gonna get it. Both of us, we gonna have that body looking so good. You gonna be good mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, because both of us, we hustlers. Both of us, we hustlers. You ain't out here with that stupid ass state of mind thinking to yourself, you responsible to take care of all the bills. Well, bitch, what if the nigga gets sick down the line? And I didn't heard some women say, well, I got with him when he was rich, but when he lost his money, I had to leave because you cannot no longer support my lifestyle. Bitch, you a hoe. An expensive ass hoe. So, the man is only beneficial to you if he could keep up your lifestyle. And if he can't, cut him off. Real woman, no. Baby, I know you're a hustler. I'm going to still be doing my hustle on the side too. You go out and make the money, take care of the house, it's all good. But just know if shit ever hit the fan, I'm a hustler too. Don't you ever forget that. Partnership. Two people working together. Don't ask me how we got on this because I don't even remember, but it goes back. I believe we was on the whole losing of the benefits, and then we piggybacked off of that to going from a woman who depend on a man based on the benefit they get, and you flip the script. Even there are some men who depend on women for the benefit. They call them the type where I ain't got nothing to offer but some good dick. I ain't got shit to offer you, girl, but some good dick. And every time we fuck, I'm fucking you like my life depend on it. Why? Because this is the benefit that comes with being with you. I get a roof over my head, you paying all my bills, I sit in the house all day and I play video games, I drive your car, everything is in your name. I ain't got shit to do but lay down that pipe. Benefits. And because of these benefits, you keep up the facade. You're with the woman laying down that pipe. You're with that man being fucked. You don't love them. And then ultimately you'll grow old, unhappy, and miserable, cheating on one another. Why? Because you married or you got into a union for the benefits. You will never take the mask off because if you leave, you lose the benefits. Next, being alone. You fear being alone. And that's one of the reasons why you are who you is in this moment. You see, being alone is as followed. To walk the path that was intended for you, it means there are certain people placed on your path that are meant for you. If you follow your heart and follow your purpose, strive to honor the very reason why you took upon yourself a physical vessel. It means you cannot be amongst everybody. You can't be in everything. Everybody can't come along with you. To walk your path, you gotta walk it alone because you're the only one that can walk through that fucking door. It wasn't created for everybody to walk through that door. Your path was created for you. When the good Lord made the call to you, it was made to you. It wasn't a conference call that involved other people. So ultimately, this whole fear of being alone, because again, when you walk in your path, you're going to be judged. When you walk in your path, you're going to have to bring an end to some relationship, because the relationship that you had prior to you making the decision to walk your path was all conditional. Again, the benefits. When you now make the decisions and the choice to walk away and be yourself, you lose all the benefits. You lose all the conditions, which leads to you being alone with yourself. Alone, and in some people's cases, alone with absolutely nothing and no one. Ending up in a shelter, ending up homeless, ending up in the middle of nowhere. Because you chose yourself. Because you chose to follow your heart. You chose to follow your passion. You chose to believe in yourself. And when you follow your heart, follow your passion, believe in yourself, honor your mission, your very purpose of being in this reality, again, at some point on your path, you're going to have to be alone. In some cases, you're going to lose everything. Let's add that on there, the fear of loss. That will be our next topic. Fear of loss. Fear of being alone, fear of loss. But yeah, somewhere along your way, you're going to be alone. And because you fear this being alone, again, here I am, I'm by myself. I done lost everything because I chose to believe in myself, follow my heart, pursue my passion, honor my God. Now I'm alone. Some people, when they realize that, like, I don't think I like being alone. I don't think I like losing all my benefits. I don't think I like losing all my friends, fake friends. I don't think I like losing them. So, in order for me to feel comfortable again, let me run back to these niggas. Let me run back to these fake friends. Let me run back to that bullshit ass bitch. But she did come with benefits. Let me run to that fuck ass nigga. He did come with benefits. I mean, he took care of my bills and everything. This idea of being alone because I want to be a woman of my own, I want to be a man of my own, I want to drive my own life, I don't think I like it. Let me run back to them. Because of that fear, because of that decision, because of that choice, because of those thought patterns, you are who you is right now. You don't want to be alone with yourself, to get to know yourself, to develop yourself, to write out your own values, to develop your own code of conduct that you are going to conduct yourself by. You don't want to be alone with yourself to develop, shape, and mold your own character. You don't want to be alone with yourself to get to know God. Or better yet, you don't want to be alone with yourself in order that God may introduce itself to you. Because ultimately, when you're alone, these are the benefits that comes with being alone. Without the noise of the world, you can hear God clearly. You can hear your Creator. You can hear your essence. You can hear the God that resides within you. You can hear that voice clearly, because now the noise of the world no longer interests you. When you were so busy always chasing after the benefits, you couldn't hear your inner God talking to you, your inner goddess talking to you. You couldn't sit with yourself to ask yourself important questions. What is my purpose in this fucking world? Who am I? Why is the world the way it is? What part can I play in making the world better? Not just for myself, but for others that are coming behind me. When you're busy chasing others, and when you're busy being distracted by the benefits, by others' opinion, by your fear of what's going to happen if you actually drove your own car, when you don't fear these things, another doorway opens up. As I've stated, You get to hear God clearly. 1, 2, you get to know who you are truly. You get to see your own power. You get to see your own gift. You get to see Christ in the flesh. Not only do you see it, you experience it. Because now the world has been turned off. Now the inside speaks. But because you fear being alone, you know nothing of what the fuck I'm speaking. And this is no judgment against you. This is to wake you up. This is to put you on game. This is what the fuck you missing out on. Because of others' opinion, you're missing out on getting to know yourself. Because of others' opinion, you're missing out on introducing yourself, literally being your true self. Because of others' opinion, you don't know who the fuck your father is. Because of others' opinion, you're lost. You're blind, deaf, and dumb. Because of your fear of failure, because of the fear of being judged, because of you losing your benefits. Some of you can't even leave your religious practices or even think a different thought, because if you leave them, you're afraid that they're going to see you some kind of way. They're going to label you as, that's the devil, y'all. He or she don't believe as we believe no more. Now we can't fuck with him or her, because that's what Christians do. As soon as you think a different thought, or thought that goes contrary to what they believe, you become their enemy. This cult of theirs. And that goes for every other religion. As soon as you start to think differently from what the majority thinks and believe, that's the devil. That's Shaitan. That's the evil one. That's the black sheep. Let's keep our distance, y'all. That's a cancer. Let's stay away from him. And because of this fear of standing in your truth and saying, y'all go ahead and have that. Believe what you want to believe. Think of me whatever the fuck it is you want to think of me. I don't give a fuck. I trust me. And I trust the eternal God that resides within me. The eternal God that has proven its existence in my life. The eternal God that literally make way where there is no way, where because of your distraction, I couldn't clearly see the inner workings of this power. But now I didn't got a taste of that, and I'm choosing to stick with it. And y'all think I give a fuck what y'all think? Fuck y'all. If you stood in that, you would be a different person right the fuck now. If you stood up in your truth to question what you were being fed. Question. Because most information people get, they don't question it. That's why I said not long ago in the video, these artificial intelligence, be careful. Information is everywhere. Be careful. Where other men blindly follow the truth, remember, nothing is true. Be careful. Question everything. And growing up children, they're always questioning shit. But ultimately that gets beaten out of them. If a child start questioning, well, if there's a God, why did he have to send his own son that was him to die on the cross when he could have prevented the whole devil from being created in the first place? I mean, God is all seeing. If God is all seeing and knew everything that was going to happen, why did he or she allow things to play out the way it did? Does God just love suffering? This is a child asking. Now, if they're asking that to the adult parent, they're going to get some bullshit ass answer. Don't talk like that. Oh, that's sin. The devil is in them. Let's take them to the church and let's have the pastor lay their hands on them. And you're discovering now the pastor wasn't just only laying their hands on them, they were actually doing things to them children. But we're not going to get into that now, are we? Let's leave that. But yeah, the reasoning mind, when it begins to question the reality, those who have accepted the reality becomes agents of the reality, And in order to maintain the facade of the reality, they must push away the threat. They must get away from the threat that dares to challenge their perception of reality. And so to protect their false reality, they distance themselves from you, which you shouldn't have no problem with, because ultimately now your truth is just being confirmed. You ain't meant for me, because for me to live in your reality, I must accept a lie. I must live by a lie, and that I cannot do. At least speaking for me. Nigga, I would sooner die than to live a fucking lie, because to live a lie is literally death. And when I say death, I mean there are many walking dead in our reality. Physically they're alive, but internally they're dead. The body is moving around, but there is nothing within the body. Why? Because these niggas, they live in lies. And if I was to live a lie, I would be a walking dead, because it's like, I know this shit is a fucking lie, and my soul knows within me that it's a lie. For me to go against my soul and still take the truth, nigga, my soul is gonna leave me. My soul is literally gonna say, well, fuck this body, fuck this ego, let me go ahead and just give up on it and go do something else. Now that ego is just walking around big and bad, doing what it wants, thinking what it wants, now has become an agent of the reality, of the matrix. Because now, to protect its existence, the ego now, it is going to do all that it can to prevent anything from fucking with that reality. So now you, the individual who dares to question their reality, of course it makes sense to distance himself from you, because you are challenging the foundation upon their reality is built. So being alone is part of the process. But as I've stated, you fear being alone. So now, nobody forced you to be who you are, but you. You made the choice because you fear being alone. Lastly, as we added, your fear of loss. Your fear of loss is what have conditioned you, shaped and molded you into the person that you is. You don't want to lose anything. You don't want to lose material possession. You don't want to lose friends. You don't want to lose family. You don't want to lose children. You don't want to lose jobs. So you cling to these things, holding on to them for dear life, even though they bring you discomfort. Some of y'all, we're going to start with the family members. Some of y'all, you're in a family situation where the family is toxic as fuck. But you're the type that will quickly and hurriedly open up your mouth to spew. Blood is thicker than water. And then just walk away. Blood is thicker than water, Unique. So I gotta remain loyal to these niggas, even though they're toxic, even though they drain the fuck out of me, even though there is nothing but death amongst them. There's nothing but gossip. There is no growth, but blood is thicker than water. I'm gonna stop doing that. Blood is thicker than water. I gotta be loyal to these niggas, cause we family. To a certain degree, I used to be there. I'm the kind of nigga, when I ride for you, when I love you, bro, I love you. I'm gonna have your back through it all. As I've said, growing as I started to grow and develop, I mean, even at a young age, the only people that had multiple chances when it came to fucking me over was family. Ain't no friend that I could think of where I say, okay, this person did X, Y, and Z, and I still kept them around. Bro, it's literally like you show me who you is, I simply make the choice. Okay, is this person good for me or are they bad for me? Bad for me in the sense of if I'm around you, what's gonna happen here? Am I growing, or are you guiding me down a path that don't serve me? Uh, Simple example. Most of the people that I grew around, a lot of them it was like they were the street type. Most of my mentor, most of the people that I looked up to when I was growing up, these was niggas that was in the street. But there were just things that I already knew about myself that I was willing to do and things I wasn't willing to do. In some scenarios, I have friends. You know how you got some friends that got the tool, and when you go hang out with them, they bring out the tool. They're so excited to show you. They're like, bro, look at what I got. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and shoot this shit off and all of that. You, I dealt with that to a certain degree, but I never went all the way. Now down the line, I might go full details with some of my stories, or with these friends of mine or ex friends of mine. I will say this: all these people, I never judged none of them for how they lived, because I'm the type, bro. It's your life. Do what the fuck you want with it. I don't give a fuck. But they also understood that Unique moves different from us. Yes, Unique has the potential to do it big in this lifestyle. He has the opportunity to literally run the entire underworld within our state if he really wanted to. But that's not what Unique wants to do. Unique could run a whole bunch of illegal narcotics in and out of this state if he wanted to. But that's not what Unique want to do. So there was always that respect between us, where it's like, do what you do, I'm gonna do what I do. Don't force your lifestyle on me, I won't force mine on you. When we meet up, we kick it, we chill, we smoke, we drink, we have a little fun or whatever, we leave it right there. But at the end, you're gonna go back to the streets, you're gonna do what you gotta do. I don't give a fuck, and I'm gonna go back to handling my business legally. So ultimately, there came times where if this relationship was not honored, sometimes you have to cut your losses. Be like, bro, the way you living, ain't nothing against it, but if I stick around you, I may suffer some of the residue of your lifestyle. And do you, my nigga, but I'm gonna have to fall back. And some of them, it's not even on a bad terms. It's literally like, bro, you just moving a little too heavy for me, bro. And I can't, because if niggas watching you, they're watching everybody you know. So ultimately, I have to not go down this line with you, because my path, the residue is nothing. Your path, the residue that comes with it is me getting locked up or me ending up in a body bag. So ultimately, again, this was in my younger years. Still love all these niggas. But now That version of me that they interacted with and this version of me, two completely different beings of expression. Right now, this me would not even, would, I mean, we wouldn't kick it like how the younger me will kick it. It would just be like pure, hey bro, what's up, what's good? Mutual respect, your life, your rules. Again, nigga, I'm happy that you're doing you. But this is as far as it go. We ain't hanging out, we ain't kicking it, we ain't doing none of that shit because I'm a little bit wiser now. I don't even have the time nor the energy to waste in trying to maintain a relationship that is inevitably going to end. So let's just cut the losses right here. The fear of loss. You fear losing friends, and so you stay in toxic friendship. The family, we already spoke on that. You fear losing family, so you stay with the toxic family. The toxic bitch, the toxic nigga. Some of your primary issue is right there laying in the bed next to you. All y'all do is argue, fuss, and fight all day. The only time y'all truly can get along is when you're under the influence of narcotics or when you're fucking. After y'all fuck, you're right back to arguing and fighting over some dumb shit. Toxic relationship. I mean, nowadays, now that I understand what toxic relationship is and what it's not, sometimes I look back at my younger self and I'm like, yo, what the fuck was wrong with you that you tolerated some relationship for as long as you did? What was truly wrong with you? And it's not an issue something what's wrong with me. For me, I'm always looking at the best in people because that's my weakness in life. I'm always seeing the best in you. Well, it's not a weakness no more. Now that didn't become a strength because fuck no, I'm not seeing the best in you. You show me your cards, bitch, that's the hand you playing, and we ain't gonna change it. We ain't even gonna guide you to say, oh, move that there, and you could get this outcome. Nah, we ain't doing none of that. We ain't fixing nobody. We ain't fixing nothing and nobody, not no more. We accept you as you are, you perfect. But if your energy and my energy are not in alignment, I cannot be with you. So, toxic relationship, to be with a bitch that we fussing and fighting and the only time we can get along is when we're fucking or when we're drinking or smoking. Fuck no. I've come to realize, brothers and sisters, my home is the only place of peace I have outside of the world. Well, ultimately, my home is right here, the physical body. This is my sanctuary. Ultimately, this is my temple. This is my home. But outside of my home, I have the physical home. That home, if I allow you in there, and that goes for you too, whoever that's watching this, if you have created your sanctuary, if you allow somebody into your space, if they come in with any kind of disturbance, I've seen some people who are on the same wavelength as me. So there's this girl that I follow. She said the same words that I'm giving to you right now. Words like, she said, it took me some time to get here, but at this point in my life, on some real shit, if anybody disturb my peace, they gotta go. Peace is the most expensive thing to maintain, and it's the easiest thing to lose, the cheapest thing to lose. If that is the most expensive thing in all the world, because this is what you, the viewer, wants. You want peace. But even if you deny that you want peace, nigga, you want peace. If you saying you don't want peace, you have not tasted what peace is. That's why you saying you don't want peace. Peace is the most expensive thing to have and maintain. It is the easiest and cheapest thing to lose. Because those who do not have peace are going to seek to disturb your peace. 9 out of 10 people walking the streets is consumed by chaos, is riddled with traumas, emotional trauma, mental trauma, spiritual trauma, physical trauma, and being that they don't know how to heal it, they look for others to dish it out on. So if you are this harmonious soul walking about this earth, peaceful within yourself, happy and content, whether you have it or you don't have it, you're just happy. And I ain't saying fake happy, I just mean you're just cool with or without it, because the outside world is not what gives you your peace. Your peace comes from within. If you have this kind of peace, those who get their peace from outside things, they seek to disturb your internal peace that you have found, that you have tapped into. And God damn it, what I done been through to acquire this peace, I'm willing to walk away from people, places, and things that wants nothing more than to disturb it. Because I ain't got the time to fuss and fight and argue. You're dealing with an adult. Two adults should be able to sit down and have a dialogue with one another and get to a point of agreement, a point of understanding, where I understand how you feel, you understand how I feel, here's how we're going to proceed forward. Two adults, that's how this should function. Is that not why we're able to communicate with one another? In previous videos, I've stated, if the animal kingdom had the ability to communicate with one another, perhaps they wouldn't be fighting and killing each other. Again, they don't have a means to communicate with one another. But as human beings, we could do this. Even thanks to technology now, even if you speak a different language, I'm still able to sit with you and have a dialogue and have the device translated. And prior to the device, we got actual people who have taken upon themselves to learn multiple languages. They're bilingual. So they could interpret what I'm getting across if there was an issue and the devices was not there. But now, as I said, the devices is there. We human beings were able to communicate with one another. There shouldn't be no reason for violence. Violence should be the last resort. It shouldn't be at all, but I can't really fathom a reason for why violence should be a reason for somebody to retaliate. Now, ultimately, I'm aware that, again, the whole adult thing, a lot of children in this reality, they're not adults because adult knows how to express themselves. Adult knows how to express how they feel. Children don't. They beat on their chest, they yell, they cry, they stomp their feet, they get angry and throw a tantrum and all that. How many adults around you do that dumb shit and calling themselves adults? Adults know how to express themselves. Adult knows how to communicate. A lot of people, they don't know how to even do just that, communicate. I have a problem. Well, what is the problem? Tell me. Well, you did X, Y, and Z, and this is how it made me feel. Oh, that's how it made you feel. If you're speaking to somebody sincere, they truly hear how it made you feel, and they can express to you where they was coming from when they said what they said, and they could get to the point where, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize for how my words made you feel. I would do my best to not let that happen again, taking consideration of your feelings. But they could also say that, well, if that's how you are, I can adjust, and we could work together to learn how to work with one another. A lot of these toxic relationships, you have scenarios where a person is going to share with you their fears, their weaknesses, their insecurities, and you have another that is going to take those fears, weaknesses, and insecurities and use it against them. That was the empath narcissist scenario. And not only that, yeah, I guess we could stick with that because that's what it was. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people, they don't like to talk about how they feel, because they fear that, well, if I experienced that with that previous relationship where I shared with them my fears, my weaknesses, my insecurities, And when they got angry, they used it as a weapon against me and started jabbing at my wounds and bringing up old traumas and shit like that just to hit me where it hurt. Why should I tell it to the new person? And so, because of shit like this, walls has been built up around our heart, around our emotion, to the degree that now we just don't know how to express how we truly feel because we're afraid of someone using how we truly feel against us when they get in their feelings. But as I've also stated, that's part of the whole narcissist and empath relationship. That's part of the whole you just hopping in a relationship and ignoring all the red flags. Because in the dating stage is when you should start gauging whether or not this person is safe to talk to on a emotional level. This person is safe to connect with. But when you're dating, nowadays modern day dating, nah, niggas not looking for somebody safe. I'm looking for a hoe to bust a nut. Depending on how she suck, how she ride, and what benefit she comes with, we might just make it official. And then when you make it official, shorty get pregnant, now you're stuck with a toxic bitch. But it comes back to you. You never took the time to get to know who it is that you were fucking. You never took the time to engage on a personal level. Who are you truly? You never observe the person's morals. You never observe what they watched or what they fed their mind with. You were too busy being distracted by the physical appearance. You missed the internal aspect. You missed the actual character that is within, that the person is expressing. Distracted by the big breasts, the thick booty, the beautiful face, which nowadays a lot of makeups, but now you get some of them that ain't got makeup, but still, you miss all the red flags. It all comes back to you. Who you is right now. Nobody forced you to be who you is right now. Everything in your life is due to you. It's the outcome of your choices, your words, your actions, your decisions. Going on from watching this video, you have a choice. Damn, yo, I've been rambling for almost 2 hours. Going on from this video, you have a choice. You can just ignore this and throw it out the door and say, fuck all that shit that nigga was talking about. I ain't get shit from it. Nigga ran his mouth for almost 2 hours. Oh, fuck all that. I don't care. Ignore it. It makes no difference to me. As I told you, my purpose in this reality is to simply help the ones that are going to hear these words and gain the value of it. And gain what I'm truly trying to get across. And they will know. When they hear it, they will know. They will say, oh, yes, this is exactly what I needed. This is the confirmation that I needed. And so going forward, individuals such as that, they ain't going to say, fuck what the nigga said. Say, thank you for confirming all that I have been neglecting in my life. Thank you for showing me that I have sat idly by and allow others to create my life, create my character, tell me what to do, tell me what to think, tell me what to believe. Thank you for confirming what I already knew from within me. And thank you for being an example that indeed it's possible to step away from the distraction of the world, to go be myself, to shape my character, to get reconnected with my source within, to now become who I was intended to be. Thank you, Unique, the Godfather of Consciousness. I appreciate you. To that soul, I say, going forward, Follow your heart. It's never too late to make a change. I don't care if you are 88 years old watching this video, or 38, or 44, or 23, or 18, or 13. I don't care. It's never too late to make a change, to become who you is. Taking responsibility of your life was how it was supposed to be from the jump. Your parents didn't do that, so they programmed you to not do that. Their parents didn't do that for them. So ultimately, the cycle just repeated from one generation on to the next. In this video, upon receiving this, this is your opportunity to break that cycle, to get in the driver's seat of your life, to take hold of the steering wheel, and to now direct it where you want it to go. You could direct it to a future wherein you literally can stand and be proud of who you is. Look yourself in the eyes and be happy and genuinely in love with who you is. As I stated in the beginning of the video, you literally happy. Or again, you could just ignore it and let someone else take the driving wheel and check with me 10, 15, 20 years down the line. And you will see this video again. Reword it to just tell you or remind you that where you is right now, no one forced you to be there. Your actions, your words, your decision, your choices got you right there. And again, I would tell you, it ain't too late to make a change. You have the opportunity to make a different choice. Speak a different word. Work diligently to break your habits. I said diligently because breaking your habit is quite challenging. And again, your ass lazy as fuck. So putting in work, you might not want to do that. Those who are willing to put in the work, breaking your habits, it means monitoring your original habit and then remaining conscious and vigilant in trying to break them. If you was going to say a certain word and you realize the new character that you are creating, that's not the words that that character speak, you catch it and you hold that word back. You rephrase it and speak as the new you. That's what I mean by being vigilant or diligent in breaking your habits. Because again, you watching you. You want a new you to be birthed. You want not even the new you. You want the real you to come out. How does the real you move? Who is the real you? What friends does the real you have or hang around with? What is the career that is the real you? Like what does the real you, what is the passion of the real you? Truth be told, this me that you see, there is shit that this motherfucker right here do that surprises the fuck out of me. Well, I say surprised because it's like all of this was in me all along and I never really knew about it. Like some of the shit I be doing, I'm like, wow. But again, had I remained that young me, that ignorant, well, I don't think I was ever ignorant because I always saw through the illusion. I would just say that that obligation of fitting or playing a role that another handed me was my issue. So once I realized I don't need to play that role, that was a wrap. That was a wrap on a lot of motherfucking problems in my life because I don't need to be what you expect me to be no more. I'm me. I'ma just be me. And now this motherfucker come out and has all these wonderful qualities, godlike qualities. And you want me to go back to thinking in terms of limitation. You want me to go back thinking in terms of worrying about fulfilling your needs while neglecting my own. A lot of new things start to happen once the new you begin to come out, and once you start to monitor your habits and start making decisions to do things differently. I'm gonna end the message here, bro, but keep in mind what I stated. Who you is right now in this moment is all due to your own actions, your own words, your own thoughts, your own habits, your own decisions, your own choices, etc., etc. If you like who you is, continue on your path. Do what do what you've been doing. If you don't like who you is, stop being afraid of the fear of failure. Stop being afraid of being judged. Stop accepting other people's opinion. Learn how to let go of the benefits that you're getting from putting on the mask that you put on for others. Stop being afraid of being alone, and stop fearing loss. Let shit go. Have a great day, bro. Unique the Godfather of Consciousness. We out here.